think so. You put it right here in front if you want, so it's direct on you. Or no?
Sorry.
Good?
It's live, so.
Okay.
We might have some extra attendees in the room when people hop on.
So what's the name of your talk today, James?
It is Dear Pain.
Dear Pain. Okay, I'm gonna hit the start. It's all you.
All right. First, a little prayer, a little praise. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for holding it in a place such as this, a desert where some saw nothing but death and hopelessness, and others saw an oasis, and that message carries through, and we are here to share that with others. Now, everyone, let's lock in. My name is Speaker James. I am a fear fighter. I'm a professional failure, and I am king of the roar. Now, I'm also an up speaker. What does that mean? That's in get up, stay up, bless up. Can I get an amen? Amen. Woo! All right, and today I'm going to talk to you about pain. Usually that's something you think that is bad, something that you think you don't want, something that you think you have to avoid, but I'm here to tell you that you need to love it. You need to lean in and embrace it. It is the answer. It is the key. It is everything you need. And we're going to talk about it in my love letter to pain today. Dear pain, I love you. You were my first teacher, but what did you teach me? You taught me how big you are. What's more overwhelming than pain? I mean, who's ever been hit in the mouth? I mean, really just the first time that happened, you remember that? That is a life-changing experience. And you can't describe it to someone who hasn't been through it, right? You want to curl up in a ball, you want to get small, but really, that's the first time most people have that internal dialogue. Who am I? What am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? Because when every other sense is overwhelming, it's just you versus the pain. It's you in that moment, you versus yourself, who you are and what you have to become to get through that moment. That's real. And that's what pain's there to teach you. Now, the next thing that pain taught me was a little bit more complex. I'll admit that. Because pain is your signal to change, right? Going back to get hit in the mouth, anytime you felt extreme physical pain, what did you want to do? Did you want to move? Did you want to stop? Did you get paralysis? Did you want to drop up and curl in a little ball? Pain makes you think that you should freeze, that there's nothing to do but submit. But that's not right. Pain's trying to teach you to make a change, take action, do something now. I just said physical pain, but we know there's emotional, spiritual, there's a lot of depth to the type of hurt a human being can feel. I want you to let that sink in. Really feel it. You're embarrassed about how you look when you walk into a room? Hurts. Doesn't feel good. You're ashamed of who you are. You look in the mirror and you hate it. You get angry at it. You're furious. You don't want anything to do with it. What are you going to do? What does it mean? You going to curl up in a ball? You going to get small? No, not us. Not today. Something needs to change. Does it have to be you? Maybe. Could you be doing more? Could you be eating less? Could you be taking better care of your body? Or is it just your mindset? Are you hanging on to something that someone told you when you were younger that's untrue? Somebody gave you their pain because they felt small. Hurt people hurt people. And what they do to manage that is they try and make you get small like them. Don't do it. Maybe you need to let that go. Maybe some of you need to let that go right now. So pain is big. Pain will always be a part of any situation. Pain is your partner. It's there. Pain is your signal to change. But here's the magic, guys. Pain can be defeated. Because pain's not real. Pain is in your head. It's in your body. It's your mind, your heart, your soul. You feel it on so many levels. But it's something that your brain tells you to feel. One of my favorite things, I used to own a hot sauce company. I got really nerdy into all the hot sauce. But capsaicin is the chemical that makes it burn. Capsaicin is a neurotoxin that the plant has as a defense mechanism so that they hope that you won't eat it. But it's not real. Capsaicin, you cannot overdose on capsaicin. Capsaicin will never hurt you. You can just put pure capsaicin in your body and you will feel pain. But nothing's happening. It's not real. And pain is the same way. Pain is a signal that we misinterpret for don't eat it. But it's not really hurting you. And when you do go through that, anyone who's experienced the heat seeking, anyone who's tried that out, you know what happens on the other side. You get those endorphins, you get that euphoria, it feels good. The other side of pain is a win. Pain stands between you and what you want. Always. Just like I said at the beginning, pain is so big, it can always apply. And you can choose your pain. And now that you know you can defeat it, you know it's not real, you can pick the type of pain you want. You can pick the pain of change, of hard work, of dedication. Or you can pick the pain of regret, loss, self-disappointment. Dear pain, I love you. In fact, you're quite the lover. And I loved you. I became so attached to you at an early age. You were there from my first memory. And once I learned that there's only so much pain and that's it, I'm not going to die, nothing happens, I was set free. And like any strong relationship, after a certain point, you can also endure anything. New friends were on the fence, sure, but once you're committed, once you're married to the pain, that's it. We're locked in. You can get through anything. And so I wanted to shoulder it. If the only consequence for getting what I wanted was a little bit of pain, that's practically free. Give it to me. I want it. I need it. I got to have it. Same for any of you? If you're not that phase yet, I want to take this moment to encourage you. Go for it. It will open up every door you ever wanted. Pain is reverse currency for life. You can buy anything if you can take the pain. Now, somewhere in there, I got a little mixed up. Pain, maybe I got a little selfish. I wanted nothing. I didn't want to be with anybody else. I was jealous. That's what it was. I was jealous. Pain, I would see you in somebody else's eyes. God gave me that gift. I could feel what others feel. Turns out, most people hurt most of the time. I see it now. Maybe you're aware of it now. But I wanted to take it. I want to say, give it to me, let me feel it for you, right? That's what love is. Love is sacrifice. Love is taking away the burden of the one you care about. You want to make them have the best life they can, even if that means that yours is fire and pain and suffering. That's what love is. And I knew it. The best life pain could have was with me. Now, if you feel the same way, maybe we can share. Let me tell you, in the same way, on the other side of pain, it feels good, man. If you know where I'm going with this, say amen.
Amen.
If you've ever loved someone, truly loved someone, that means you've opened your heart and you were completely vulnerable. You left yourself like this. And If they were taken away or they left you, it's a hurt unlike anything else. You want to drop, you want to get small, you want to cover up, you want to never open up again, you never want to try, right? It's just like getting hit in the mouth, except when you get hit in the heart, it's worse. It's somehow worse. You got to get in there again and have that conversation. Who am I? How am I going to get through this? You got to talk to yourself because there's nobody else. All your other senses are overwhelmed. All you have is that punch in the heart. You can't pick yourself up. You can't believe your way out of it. You got to work your way out of it. Pain is work. Work can be pain, but there's no fast forward. Pain can be fun too, right? It's just how much can I take as it dissipates, as you gain a tolerance. It's just like any other skill. Kind of like lifting weights. You know what you're doing, right? You are destroying the muscle. You're tearing it down so it can build itself up and be stronger. And just like a good relationship, the way you grow, the way you get to know each other is through your flaws. You work through the tough stuff. And so if you haven't worked through the tough stuff of your pain, if you haven't started getting comfortable being uncomfortable, whatever that is, physically, emotionally, spiritually, what will you do if you can't chase your dreams? Whatever your dreams are. And look, you don't have to have the same dreams, right? We're up here, we're talking on stage. Turns out that's the number one thing people are afraid of. So that's not for you, that's okay, because if it's not what you want, fine. But if it's not what you want because you're afraid, because you don't believe in yourself, that's not the way. If it's not who you are, if it's not part of your identity, that's different. But you can't back away and be successful. I don't want to hear any of that. If you want something, I want you to go for it. I want you to fall down. I want you to take your pain and turn it into fire, and turn that fire into your future. It's yours. When I say I'm a professional failure, it's because when people hire me to do anything, they know I will not stop until I win. I will fall down 1,000,000 times. I will figure out every way it doesn't work until I find the one that does. And if you think about it, I'm actually spending more time in that fire, more time doing the wrong thing than I am doing the right thing, because it's about solving problems. And most of that is failing first and resetting from failure. I always tell my kids, we have 8 rules in our house. Rule number 5 is win or learn, never lose. Win or learn, never lose. You only lose when you quit. We don't quit, right?
Right.
So how quickly can you reset? That's your rocket fuel. Good, get up, do it again. How much faster can you get up and do it again? That's going to determine your pace of progress. But what are you doing? How much time do you waste feeling bad for yourself? Putting fake things in your body, slowing yourself down, preventing your dreams from coming true. How much time, people? It's too much, and you know it. Work on it. If you do a little bit less today, a little bit less tomorrow, the Japanese concept of Kaizen, I'm sure you've all heard of it. Incremental improvements every day, that 1%. Every day you're good. Every day you get better, and you get better. Now, pain, you're a teacher, you're a lover, but you're a gardener. Pain will flood your roots so that you can grow. Can't have the appreciation for the sunshine without a little bit of rain. You can't know how good a hug feels if you've never been alone. Pain will shade you from the distraction of good enough, resting on your laurels, thinking that you couldn't possibly improve or that you're better than someone else. Pain is your truth. It's the marker of how far you're willing to go. Pain will prune away the parts of you that hold you back. You have to tear away those parts and nail on the new limbs. Now listen up, because this part's important. Every day, every single day, you have a choice. And you've heard this today, but here's your choice. What will you bring with you into the day, into the hour, into the moment, into the situation in front of you? You can bring pain. You can bring happiness too. You can bring love, joy, understanding, peace, all the things you want. You can bring that into the moment. You can also lay down what no longer serves you. If you know what I'm going to say here, say amen.
Amen.
Look, if you're not really an adult, if you're still that same scared little kid living in an adult body, 14-year-old, you need to be somebody. You needed to bring something to protect yourself, to get through the right now. Good job. You made it. But you can lay it down. You don't have to carry that around anymore. Guys, I want you to leave here fired up. I want you to leave here thinking differently about pain, about the hard stuff. Because it is freedom. It is everything is on the other side. Anything else is a lie, I promise you. Help. Pain is here to help. Help doesn't always feel good, and most times what feels good is not the right choice. The hard thing. Do the hard thing. You can do it. You can do hard things. If no one's told you that, I'm telling you right now. I want you to think about pain differently. I want you to have a little bit of respect. I want you to fall in love with pain. Have a relationship. Care about it. Pick it up. Listen to it. What is it telling you? Slow down. Feel it. Feel it. Don't just try and get through it. Feel it. That's the assignment. Side note, you got to feel it to heal it. You can't just ignore it. It can't be defeated with a hug. It can be defeated with love, but it will not be defeated by being ignored. You can put it to the side for a moment, sure. Process it later, but you got to process it, okay? And I'll leave you with this. Whatever darkness you might be sitting in, pain is the gatekeeper to your freedom, and it's there to ask you one simple question. Do you really want it? Do you? XOXO. Speaker James.
Good job, brother. Good job. What you notice, Albert?
Well, his tonality just kept me engaged. And then even like when you wanted a response from the audience, it was like almost immediate, you know? No one really had to think about that. You know, you mentioned about getting punched in the heart, boy, that really hit home, but good job. I just think you're awesome. I'm just glad you didn't get down on the ground, because then I wouldn't be able to see you. But yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
Amen. How about you, Stacey? What did you notice? What did you observe?
Wow. Nicely done. I love the content. Like the content, so on point. There were so many nuggets in there. Your emphasis on delivering the content, excellent. When you looked up, you were making excellent eye contact. You know, your facial expressions would change with what you were delivering. Personally, I would like to see you come out a little bit more. from about a quarter of your speech on, you were in the same posture that you're in now.
Yeah.
Looking down a lot. But again, when you looked up, it was great. But the passion with which you delivered that, I would like to see that translated in your body language. You know, like come out from the podium, and you don't have to go crazy, but like your volume and just passion is here, and what's coming out, but not anywhere else. But I loved it. The letter to pain, just excellent message.
Good observations. What'd you notice, Norm?
That I need to be like everybody that has spoken. When you said, a letter to pain, you made me feel the pain that I have gone through. When you're like, have you ever been punched in the mouth and you hit the heart? I'm like, I just want to cry. Because you brought me to a memory where, I have been so hurt that it was kind of like, what are you going to do? Are you going to let the pain break you? Or are you going to just keep moving forward? So,
Got it.
Yes, it really hit me in the heart. So, thank you, James.
Thank you.
How about you, Todd? What'd you notice?
Okay. Outside of the PF Flyers, I would say the voice volume. Speaker James is back, man. I mean, that's just, dude, you got your own style, man, and run with that style. I mean, kind of like, and I like with what Stacy was saying, the back and forth thing. I know a bit of something. He was still prepping and adjusting, but I know if he would have had that down, a few more reps, man, he would have been on both sides of it. But it was a lot of prepping. I do agree. I do agree with you. It is on that, and then that's just a. But there was a lot of nuggets in there, man. I really liked I'm a professional fail. Thank you. That's in the backpack. No, that's not coming out, man. And the pauses. You working your pauses really good, man. And I like how when you say something, you stick a pause hold. It's okay to have that pause. I need more of that in what I'm doing. And that's where I took note. I'm like, man, and that kind of goes back to what Billy was saying. Take those pauses a bit more. It really does stick when you do that. You can, at least up from over here, I can see it now.
Right. That's good feedback.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man.
What'd you notice, Justice?
How quickly can you reset? That's memorable. For me, very specifically, I love it. Like, it makes me emotional because it kind of was talking to you about this. Like, matter of fact, we were actually talking about it when we're up and we're engaging and stuff like that. And some days we just want to be in here and self-contained, but it's like, you know what? We get the privilege of being on fire and warming up other people with cold.
Yep.
So that was like a reminder, like even when I'm feeling those moments, like how quickly can I reset from whatever it is that's the pain that I'm doing, how quickly can I reset from that pain? So this was a massively quotable speech.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wrote, like literally most of the stuff I wrote, I couldn't even fit room because I was trying to write the quotes that you said you can pay for anything if you're willing to take pain. And I love when you explain being a professional failure because I thought it was something else in the beginning. But then when you explained it, I was like, that is amazing. Because in order to be successful, you really got to go through the failures. When you say a professional failure, it just means that you're also massively successful in ways you're successful. And I just thought that was excellent. The only thing that I can say that's like a critique kind of, you didn't look this way that much. So I couldn't catch you. I wanted to make eye contact with you for it. And that might be something more so like with the podium, which was odd because you're right here. So you swept here really good. And there was a few times, but it was funny because I'm trying to catch your eyes because you were like this. When you said the rules and you said something right after and everybody responded. You're like, yeah. And I felt like I was your kid or something. I was like, yeah, like, yes, that, like, I was like, that was powerful too. Like the rules, like, no, we either win or we lose. We don't, obviously we rather win, but we learn we don't lose. And that's a concept that, you know, a lot of us have heard before. We don't always live it. And that goes in with the professional failure part too. So I can feel that it's something that's been, well, it's cathartic for you. I can feel that this particular thing and getting this out is cathartic for you over time. And you probably spent a lot of time like fashioning that. And I can tell you put a lot of thought and feeling and emotion in it. And when you went up there, you prayed, I felt you take a deep breath and you're like, let's go. And I felt every bit of that.
Thank you.
What'd you notice? Tiffany?
So you were very energetic. Like, I don't even know. I bounced back between, okay, he's a drill sergeant, he's a poet, he's an artist. So that you know, you had the great dynamics in your voice. Your pauses were great. You gave a warning, like, listen up, this is important, and you paused for a moment, make sure everybody was, you know, listening, and then you went on to that. So that was really, really good, really key. So yeah, it's really great.
Well, what I noticed, I'm gonna have a hard time matching you guys' intensity, because your intensity was right there was really awesome. Pain is it's crazy that you're talking about pain, because I just went through a little bit of pain with the death of my grandmother, and sometimes it's something that we try to avoid, but it's something that we need to feel. So when you shared about the pain and how we need to fail to be able to reach that success, to me was like, okay, so we need to, it doesn't matter if we have to go through that pain in order to grow, is what I caught from it. But it's, I said, man, it's gonna be very difficult to match you guys' the intensity and the way you guys are laying down those speeches, especially me, because I have my notes right here. So, but I just like your intensity, man. It's very on point. You know, you got the message across. So keep it up.
Thanks.
I forgot one.
Okay.
You had the relatable words and quotes to something that all of us have felt at some point in time in our lives. So you touched each one of us with that. That was really good.
Me too. I want to say something else. When you were saying it, I was like, bring it on. You know, I'm willing to go through the transformation. You know, just, you know, bring it on. And then your voice, you just, you know, like with me, it's like, you know, you're just like, here it is. You know, like to me, it's like, are you gonna keep doing the stage? If not, you know, quit. No, I ain't quitting.
Good.
Yeah, I have to get better.
I got one other thing also. I like when you said, here's my love letter to pain, and then you put that in your back pocket.
What'd you notice?
I think you brought the fire, man. I really do. You brought the fire, man, and you felt like you talked from experience. You know what I mean? Like we all felt it. You know what I mean? At least I did. I just felt it that you brought that experience into, you know, like I said, like into the ring. You know what I mean? You brought it with you, and you were like, man, you know what I mean? If you guys were going through this, you know, it like hit home, like she said. You know, we all been through some type of pain in our life, and good job, man. I just think you brought the heat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to speak on a couple of things. I know some of the things I had written were spoken here, which is good. That means y'all picking up on the art of speaking. I'm glad to see that. Your interactions were great. The way you play with us, with the crowd. If you're ready, say amen. And you had that interaction. That was really great. As Todd mentioned, that the strategic pauses, you would say something, you asked a question, and you didn't run on. You let us chew on it for a minute, which was really good. And that's important. That I can't stress pauses enough. You know, if you pause, man, it just gives you that, and it's a controlled, strategic, and I'm disciplined in my pause, and I'm letting y'all feel what I just said, and then moving on, man. That really adds impact to it. Yeah. As Stacy mentioned, I would like to see you come off that paper some and attend to the left and right of the side. When you were here, you were great, but you need to come off. You need to touch both of us on both sides, and it's okay to read, but when you come off, I would like to see you come off that page and just talk to me straight up about the pain and have that part where you don't need the script and you're able to look at it, because that gives you like she was saying, when you got both hands here, half your language is gone. Your body language is saying just as much as your mouth is saying, right? So if I put my hands on the stand, I've already cut off half my body language of what I can say. And with a pain type of topic, you want to open that up so that they can feel all of this and where you're coming from. So like if you're here, which is okay to come in and off of it, but you don't want to spend 50% of that moment locked to that thing because you're cutting off your emotion on that. One other thing I got here, you made tremendous progress from Nashville to here in your dynamics. In Nashville, you were on level 10 the whole talk, right? You were just the whole time. Now, this time I'm gonna show you were much more balanced, and the vocal dynamic gives it it's just like punctuation in the sense you got the commas, which is your pause, you got your period, your question marks, and then you got your exclamation points, right? Which is your volume is doing all that at the same time. What I would like to see you do from this point to go to the next level from, okay, you made the progress from Denver to here. I'm going to show you how to go to that next level now. Okay, I wrote this down on a chart. Okay, this is a scale from 1 to 10 on your volumes. Okay, over here is your 1, 10 is your max. Okay, all of y'all can pay attention to this part here. Okay, your normal speaking voice, when you're up here, your normal tone should be right here. That's your 5, whatever that normal is that you're going to consistently be at. Okay, 2 and 3 down here is your lower, like when I'm trying to really pull you in, because man, it really hurts when I get my heart broken. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. See, I'm in my 2. Now I'm in my 2 and 3. And now your 7 and 8 is when you get louder and you let them know pain ain't something to play with, right? Now, and then that 10 is like your max. And you don't want to very, very often hit that 10. That 10 would be like, man, I've got to get that, like that one time in your message or twice in your message where you're off where the red line, like on thing. But let me give you a tip here. When you're speaking from here, from that 2 or 3 and jump to a 5, it feels like a 5 that went to a 10. Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to go. We're gonna feel that because you went from really low in the end. Like, man, it really hurt when that girl broke my heart. But let me just tell you, see, I didn't go that really loud. I'm not much higher than my 5, but it felt like it because of where I started from.
Can I
So,
ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So, because that's a great example of going to 5. Mm-hmm. So, can you give us an example where you would get to a 10? I'm not saying we're gonna get to a 10, but
like when I come in tomorrow, you'll see me. First thing I'll say, God still moves. Boom. I'm landing it. Right? Yeah. Then I come off and I gotta come back down because I can't talk for 5 hours like that, right? So that's another thing. You might be up there an hour and a half at some of these big conferences. I can see you doing that with your talent. So you're gonna need to be able to laugh. Like your voice is the lungs and the legs of a marathon. You know, right? So you got to control that, and it's like you can't sprint the whole race, right? With a marathon, you have to guide it. Same thing with that. But you really, really improved from Denver to here, and I think all of us can see you're much more confident. And when you pull that out your pocket, it was like, yeah, okay, like that's real. Like you could tell, like he was saying, pulling out, it just gave it that realness. That like, hey, this is a real letter. I wrote myself. I just got it in the mail.
Like I said, you brought that.
The crazy part is that I haven't even done my speech and I'm already realizing the mistakes.
It's not mistake. Listen, there's no mistake. There's learning. Yeah, there's learning. This is what it's about. This is why coming in a small, intimate environment like this, you can learn so much more. Now, if we had 20 people, I couldn't sit down and everybody couldn't sit down and critique in front of everybody else. Yeah. But us like this, we're able to sit down and talk to each other and learn. And from the